Welcome to the Range Podcast. I'm Ricky Bruley, and with me is Jake Hollywood Iverson. Join us at the Archery Range, where we'll tell stories from the hunt, discuss technical bow shooting tactics and gear, and pick the brains of some of the most successful people to ever shoot a bow. Whether you're about to shoot that X for the win or send an arrow at a trophy buck, this podcast is for you. The Range Podcast is brought to you by Vapor Trail Archery, makers of the best bowstrings money can buy, originators of limb-driven arrow rest technology, and innovators of Stokerized stabilizer systems. Well, so that, I think, brings us into our segment of shiny objects. For the listeners, this is a segment we like to have where we discuss what is our current obsession. It can be, your favorite, your favorite bow. It could be a new accessory that you have, maybe a book, a song, anything like that. So we'll start with you, Ashley. What is your current shiny object right now?
My current shiny object is probably gonna have to be growth, as awkward and taboo as that probably sounds, but it's something that I've been very focused on lately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just growing as a person and growing my skills overall. The Wisconsin trip taught me a lot about myself in the woods and how
Mm-hmm.
much I enjoy being a lollygagger, I guess, because um it was very rushed in comparison to what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
And um I like being able to stop and look at things and appreciate it for what it is. And I like to find critters and I like to find flowers and mushrooms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that helps me appreciate everything a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I've been working on growth for a while, and that's, yeah, that's my shiny object. I don't know.
No, it's a good one. I like it. No, that's really good. Growth is definitely, I think a lot of us are, if we're doing it right, I think we're all trying to grow in some way, shape, or form. But it's really interesting and unique that you picked that out specifically. I really like that, and I think it's awesome. It's definitely something to strive for and focus on. You know,
And then I guess with me, it'd be getting her on her first buck this year or getting back to Wisconsin. I mean,
there you go.
either of them. That that not filling a tag in Wisconsin is eating at me pretty bad, and
Yeah.
I'm wanting to get her a good buck on film. That's
Mm.
my main thing this year. I want to get her some deer on film. So
Yeah. There you go.
that'd be mine.
So if you got back out to Wisconsin, would you meet up with Skip again, or would you just kind of start doing some scouting and trying to find some public land, or what would your plan be there for that?
I'm sure we'd be meeting up with Skip some while we were out there
Mm-hmm.
and then we've had an invite back from one of the private landowners to just come back and
Oh,
hunt just as friends. I mean, we made some we made some really good friends while we were out there. So
Peanut got himself a girlfriend.
yeah,
She's
oh
recently
wow.
married, but she's his girlfriend now. So,
yeah, met a lot of good
Oh,
friends
that's
out there,
funny.
and they invited us back out for a late season hunt. So we're
Mm-hmm.
hoping we can get back out there and hunt some of those food sources that they weren't on this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we were hunting some stands where some almost 200-inch deer have been killed over the past couple of years. I
Mm-hmm.
don't hunt stands like that too often, so I'm dying to get back out there.
Right. Yeah, and that's cool too, just to think about, even though, like I said, you guys didn't, I guess the ultimate goal wasn't achieved, but all of the connections that you've made and now the new opportunities that have opened up for you guys. So that's really cool. I've run into that many times too, or just, simply taking an out of state hunt. And I hunted elk out in Idaho, and I met, 7 older gentlemen from Wisconsin up in the 9 miles back up in the mountains. And they were just really cool dudes to hang out with. They reminded me of, my uncles. And every day we would, on our way out, we'd go visit them and hang out and talk. And I shot some grouse, and I'd, drop the grouse off for them because they offered to haul our elk out because they had a pack horse in with them and stuff. So yeah, just really awesome that you, made some new connections, and you developed some new opportunities. So that'll be really cool. And if you guys, if you do end up coming back up, let me know and I'll see if I can, get over there and say hi to you guys. See
That'd
if
be
we can't
awesome.
meet
Yeah,
up somehow.
we were hopeful to meet up with you, but it just everything was so everywhere.
We didn't spend
Oh
much
yeah,
time running around in Buffalo County. That really wasn't our type of area.
Yeah, they weren't the
Yeah.
nicest in Buffalo
That was
County.
not our
Yeah.
place. It was awesome hunting, beautiful area, but not our type
Yeah.
of customer service, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if anything, and maybe I can climb up in a tree with one of you guys and film or something, that'd be fun.
Oh, that'd be
That'd be
awesome.
awesome.
I just recently acquired a couple of different spots now in Wisconsin that I can hunt, so I'll be probably trying to put in some stronger efforts out in those areas next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be really, really fun to meet up with you guys. So my current shiny object right now is actually a book that I'm reading. I'm a life member of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, and so I've listened to their podcast, and I was listening to a more recent one, and they were talking about uh, a couple of books. It's Hal Herring is the host, and then he was interviewing Dave Simonette, who's the lead singer for Trampled by Turtles. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but they're a local Minnesota group, and they play some bluegrass stuff, and they're pretty well nationally known. But uh, Dave has now become a board member of Sportsmen for the Boundary Waters organization here in Minnesota. And so they were doing an interview with him, and they were talking about some really good books, and they had mentioned one by the name of Ridgeline, and that book is written by, and I think his name is pronounced Michael Punk, and he wrote the original version of The Revenant, which I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So anyway, this book Ridgeline, it's about Crazy Horse and Red Cloud and the Lakota natives and the battles that they had with the United States Army when they were building a fort in some of their sacred hunting grounds. And it's just fascinating to me. I've always really been fascinated with Native American history. I've always wanted to get like tattoos and stuff, but then I just didn't feel like it was my place, like as if I was maybe trying to appropriate, their culture. And so I've never done anything like that, but just a really, really cool book. And, I recommend it to anybody. If you're a fan of The Revenant, you'd definitely be a fan of this book. And so that is currently my shiny object. I've just every day, because while I'm building bowstrings out here in the manufacturing facility during the day, which I normally don't do, but we're so busy right now that they need the help. So I'm jumping on a jig, and I just listen to audiobooks. And so every day at dinner, I'm telling my wife, and she's just like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool." But it's a fantastic book. I'm obsessed with it.
Everybody putting an order in now, needing it in a week.
Yeah. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of this episode. Ashley, where can the listeners find you on social media?
On Facebook as Another Ashley Outdoors, and then on Instagram it made me do underscores because they don't do spaces, but Another Ashley Outdoors as well. So
Okay.
that's my two handles.
And how about you, Justin, if people want to connect with you?
And then on mine, it would be Covert IG on Instagram. That would be the main one that I would use.
Excellent. All right. Well, you can find us at the Range Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And you can find me, Ricky.Wayne80 on Instagram and Ricky W. Bruley on Facebook. Again, please be sure to head over to our Vapor Trail YouTube channel. And if you like this episode, be sure to give it a like. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you can be up to date on all things archery. If you're listening, do me a favor, give us a rating and make sure to give us 5 stars. Big thanks to the Coverts for joining us today last minute, and good luck with the rest of your season, and keep the content coming. I really, really do appreciate it. And with that, we're going to pack up our bows and arrows, and we're hitting the range. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Vapor Trail is now offering an exclusive discount to the Range Podcast listeners. Enter promo code TRP15, that's TRP15, at checkout for 15% off VTX bowstrings and Vapor Trail and Stokerized branded t-shirts, hats, and other gear.
Heard it. Nice
I
shot.
don't know what in the hell went flying. I think he cut the tube at the bottom.